Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the Ohio, an absolute classic of the Research Bureau at this point. It's been a little over a year since I've taken a look at this ship, and we now have a new challenger in the Sete de Setembro. Apologies for pronunciation on that one, as always, but Ohio versus Slava was always the conversation. Now we have a third tier 10 battleship in the armory for research points. And honestly, it was pretty easy to recommend Ohio if you wanted something a little tankier, and always go with Slava if you wanted the accuracy long-range battleship. Setembro being added gives us a very interesting, almost middle ground, I would say, between the two, especially given the shell velocity with that ship. Even better than Slava's shell velocity, which was like the best in the game. Simply ridiculous shell velocity, and it's even better now on Setembro. Let me tell you though, it is a massive difference going back to Ohio after playing a ton of Setembro this week. Playing Ohio again, the shells are just extremely slow out to range. I think that's a good thing, by the way. I think it's very important to have bad shell velocity on overmatching such devastating shells here against cruisers in particular. It's a good thing, okay? And considering it's 406s that we find on Slava and Setembro, that certainly will make sense. Ohio also has much better armor, much better turret traverse. I think the heals are a lot better here too on Ohio. So definitely still gets the nod from me if you want a closer range, tankier, brawling battleship that can do some secondary shenanigans and also has some very powerful main guns at those mid and closer ranges. But I also played a lot of Ohio, and playing this ship into today's meta, which is rather passive, shall we say, is not as good, okay? It's a lot easier to play a Slava or a Setembro, sitting at 20 plus kilometers, having 10-second flight times to those ranges instead of 15 seconds or something like that, and smashing all the broadsides that happen to appear. Ohio is a lot more challenging to get the most out of this ship into those more passive games. You certainly can still, and in fact, Ohio's tankiness really can carry a lot more games through the later matches where you will have to push in the late game, that sort of thing. Ohio can make many more of those plays compared to Setembro and certainly compared to Slava. But ease of use, yeah, Slava Setembro's shell velocity makes a big difference in today's passive meta. Now, we looked at Slava recently, given that it had a buff where its AP shells now have some pretty high alpha damage, only 50 alpha damage less than Montana's even. It went pretty well. You could check out that video from pretty recently if you want to see some Slava gameplay. But Setembro versus Slava is a pretty interesting look. Slava has the accuracy, of course, pretty massive accuracy advantage. I think those first few clips in my initial review video were a bit of outlier. The more I've played Setembro, the worse the accuracy has seemed. It gains consistency through that incredible combat instruction. If you're not activating that combat instruction, it's a pretty tame ship, obviously outside of the shell velocity. Longer reload and battleship dispersion on 12 guns, 406s. It's a bit like a Montana then, in that regard. It's only once you're getting that F key, those combat instructions, that Setembro looks suddenly blatantly overpowered. I think that's an interesting thing to talk about here, as Ohio doesn't have that. Slava does not have that. There is no, we need to get this ship in the perfect scenario to build up a combat instruction to make the ship extremely powerful. Ohio just is very tanky. It just always has those heals coming back. It has the devastating 457s that absolutely crush cruisers. And yes, we will take some damage here, flat broadside onto a Willem at these ranges. Not my best play, but we do not have an above water citadel, so we don't actually die here. Setembro also kind of gets away with a lot of that. Slava notably would not. Much worse armor in those cases. If you find yourself in a situation where you're not as good at getting those F keys charged up, I think Slava will actually just be the better ship at longer ranges too. You just need to be getting those F keys. I was thinking about this a little bit when it comes to combat instructions. Any ship with combat instructions, if you're activating those combat instructions, it's going to look insane. It's how often we get those combat instructions active. things like Valparaiso, one of the reasons that ship is so insane is that you are basically guaranteed to have those combat instructions active all the time. The more I've played with Setembro, the less often I actually am finding myself getting those combat instructions active. Possibly just a skill issue on my part, but getting those Citadel hits, especially now that people know what the ship is about, is a little bit rare. Certainly not quite as good as that game where I got like 200k in the first near 5 to 7 minutes of the match. Getting multiple of those combat instructions in a row at the very start of the game does not happen nearly as often. Those are outlier games for sure. Very fun, very possible still, but definitely outlier games. Setembro is that outlier. Not always going to be the perfect match, but when you get it, is extremely fun. That's what I would recommend. If you're interested in a ship that is going to feel a little bit caught out, you're not always going to get that combat instruction active, but you're willing to go through those matches to get those few games where, yeah, you get the combat instructions in the first couple of salvos, and then you get another one right after. If you're willing to go through that, I think that ship is well worth getting, okay? It's very nice that I can recommend all of these ships, to be honest with you, without having to talk about monetization. I'll bring it up briefly here, but very lovely to be talking about ships in World of Warships that you don't have to get out your credit card to actually obtain. I'm so happy about that. Ohio, though, is still well worth getting for the consistency, for that brawling, and for me personally, it's been in the game for a while. I love Montana, as you guys know. This is a faster turret traverse 457 variant. Sure, we don't have the volume of shells, but if you look at that accuracy, we've been pretty consistently hitting that Satsuma cheek here. Not always are you going to get that sort of dispersion, but Ohio does have 2.0 Sigma, so is quite consistent in its own right. And all of these ships are not shotguns, okay? They're all quite accurate and should be fairly consistent, especially into broadsides. It really just comes down to the playstyle you want, at least at the start. For the vast majority of people who are interested in battleships at all, I can highly recommend all three of these. Though, if I had to be honest with you, I think Slava and Setembro fit today's meta a lot better. It's a lot easier to get those ships looking powerful, to get access to their strengths, where Ohio, I had a tough time. Yeah, that's 62k plus 82k in fires from just a Trump and his bombs. I had a bit of a rough time recording for Ohio. I'm going to play a few live games here for you. I hope they go better than these games. Salem at 13.8 kilometers. We just saw what the ship can do into an angled Salem. Oh no, what is that dispersion? Ohio control from time to time. Perhaps it's just my Ohio. I might have a defective one at times, but I do find myself often wishing my Ohio was a little bit more consistent into these broadsides. That's where Slava comes into play. That ship just has ridiculous accuracy. And Setembro gains consistency through its reload booster. Sure, if you don't have the salvo you want into the broadside Prince Adalbert at 10 kilometers, you just pop your reload booster, assuming that you have that combat instruction charged up. Ohio, much more vanilla in that scenario. You gotta wait for your guns to reload, and then you get the perfect disperse. Look at that, that's a lot better. And even turns in to lift his Citadel up. Unfortunately, we don't get it there. What about a broadside on Thunder? We'll even use the copium vertical dispersions, like negligible vertical dispersion. It looks amazing. Thunder's got above water Citadel. We get one. One is good, right? I'm trying to convince myself. Would have hoped for more. Fortunately, though, Ohio doesn't need to rely on hitting these dev strikes instantly in a brawl because we have the tools like the heal that comes back so quickly, a very tanky hull overall, and a reasonably quick reload, to be honest with you, for accurate 457s. And a Thunderer angles in, we'll get more damage or similar damage into his superstructure, because those always do take quite a bit more damage. Now, having the overmatch, I do think, is a key advantage. This is a test ship, so I'm actually not aware of what the armor value is on this one that we're fighting right now. Could be that 406 is also overmatch it, by the way, but overmatch is frustrating to fight against as a cruiser, but as a battleship, it is definitely an advantage that Ohio has, allowing us to deal a lot more damage into ships with 30 millimeters of armor. Irresistible might have one of the largest citadels in the entire game. It's a very broadside ship. That is a very accurate salvo. And we get 2. That's too bad. Went just a little too low there. I had mixed experiences recording today, although I'm glad I had a game on the hard drive, that first E, to show you where the ship performed extremely well. Because I really do think that is much more representative of the usual experience with Ohio. Now, our shells are not going to reach this submarine in time. I actually don't know why I shot that, to be honest with you, but it's a good example of shell velocity. It matters, guys. It certainly matters. Unfortunately, Ohio's shell velocity there not quite enough to help out and deal with that submarine. Pushing this flank, perhaps a bad idea, but we do have some tankiness here. And there's an engine that we overmatch. Yes. He is slowing down into his smoke screen. That's okay. Aki here. Okay, let's angle. Let's actually angle. Monty could get a good hit into us here. I think angling is appropriate considering the submarine here could be a bit of a problem for us. Though I have just turned flat broadside onto an Aki, which probably not the best idea. We are very fortunate that shells go short exists for us. He's gonna accelerate and turn in. So let's go here. 7.5 second lead time. I wonder what the lead time is for 7.5 seconds with Setembro. You might get to like 18 kilometers, something like that. Very nice hit there. Overmatch. Helping us out. We don't get the broadside opportunity there. Unfortunately, we can slide along the border here to get ourselves away from those torpedoes. Not the prettiest start, I will give you that, but not too bad. Ohio can just kind of hold a flank like this, angled like this. You can survive quite a long time. And in very intense situations, which I really like. I like that I have a ship that can apply a lot of pressure just by soaking damage for the team. I've already tanked up to 1 million potential damage already. That's pretty cool. Montana's still quite broadside. He's turning away, so I did aim a little higher than I would normally. Trying to aim low to get citadels is the idea here. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Can target the Kurama. Maybe that'll force him to angle. He's a larger threat than the battleships that are pretty far back. Super ships are very strong, of course. We'll see. I wonder if he has 30 millimeters of armor. If so, we should be able to get some very nice overmatch into him. If I aimed appropriately, which I think I did a reasonable job. Overpens, okay. Now we expect the speed up. Unfortunately, we're dealing with a lot of long-range gameplay here. I don't think it's really reasonable to push into this many enemy ships here. So we're just kind of holding as a trio here. We're doing an okay job, I think. But this is, again, not where Ohio shines. It can do a pretty good job thanks to its overmatch. But this is not where it shines. This is where the extra shell velocity would be really nice. Maybe we caught this guy here. Yeah, he's got the reverse. That's going to land right in the middle. And it goes low. How disappointing. I think he's going to stop and go forward. That's a bit of a prediction there on my part, but I've seen this sort of play before. I think we nailed it. Come on. Don't go low again. Oh, no. Oh, that hurts. Oh, man. Okay. A lot of predicting required for playing in Ohio and dealing with cruisers at range. Yes, it does good when it hits, but is it? Oh my goodness. And he stops broadside on to... Okay. I would have loved if one of ours had actually hit like that. Can we help deal with the sub? Yes, we can. All right, now that the sub is gone, we can think about pushing in here a little bit more, especially as they have kited from this flank a little bit. Inchin behind the island. We can try it. I think he might accelerate, though, forward, and our shells are not fast enough. Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's okay, because... Oh, he actually really accelerated there. If I'd waited and gone here, probably could have caught him. So this game's not over yet, and we got quite a bit of health. The enemy team has actually pushed through on the decap there. I was completely wrong about that being our strong flank. So, Laria has left this flank, so Monty Bourgogne. Suppose we'll go after the Bourgogne. Aim more upper belt, because this is not really a ship that we're citadeling, so we gotta hit upper belt. That's a bit of that gross dispersion that we sometimes see out of this ship. Still get a decent hit for damage, but not the accurate pinpoint dispersion that we're often looking for out of Ohio. It happens. It's a battleship, okay? This one you're not expecting the pinpoint accuracy from, unlike, say, Slava, perhaps. Inchin on us. Okay, why don't we angle to Bourgogne, mostly, get our secondaries going. I am running the secondary build, not because we're activating them all the time, but because I enjoy it, okay? That's just a more for fun thing for me. The other two do not really have secondaries, so I would not go for them if you are interested in that kind of build at all. Healing through Inchin after our broadside. So is that a range mod Inchin? He's pretty far away from us. I have given enough broadside. Oh, okay. Actually, Bourgogne didn't have AP, so we're okay. I was thinking I was given enough broadside to actually get cheek citadel here, but no, we're okay. And good damage into his superstructure. Very nice. Let's angle in a little further. No, Inchin was closer than I thought. Okay, I thought he was around 17, but no, he was around 16. Which he does have that sort of range. His smoke appears to be running out, so let's try and help on him. He's turning broadside on to our Condi to get a shot into our Condi, rather. Maybe I led that one enough. Looks good. No way! I don't citadel there. Oh, that hurts. I think that is pretty much perfect, and we don't get it. That hurts. That hurts. It's okay. We got the heals. We got the heals. All right. Close quarters combat. I'm going to wait. Okay. At these ranges, he can dodge. So what we're going to do is wait for him to look for his smoke screen, which I would assume is coming. Unless he does that. Not going to fire everything, because he's going to dodge. Oh, we're getting unfortunate. We'll go there. I think he's going to dodge that way. So, one heal remaining. But we've tanked over 2 million potential damage at this point. Overmatch? Oh, all around him. No. I think we're doing I've got the aim down a little better now, I would say. It's unfortunate that we're just splashing all around him. Again? Not again, not again. How many in a row are we gonna splash like this? Too bad. All right, let's try and help on the... Actually, he does have range mod. He's got over 18 kilometers of range. Wow. I think he's turning away there. Ooh, Laria just absolutely smashed our Yamato. That is not good. All right, we definitely have to focus up over here. Come on, please. 300, no. Oh, no. I was really hoping we would take him out there, but that's okay. One heal remaining. This is a very close battle. So, pretty slow start, I think we can say. But we have saved enough HP into the late game, I think. Bellaria has to angle to our Yamato. So let's wait until we get the right angle. We're only going to get one shot at this. We need some citadels here. Otherwise, it's probably going to be a round. Oh. Oh. I suppose. Wait, it's not going to be a round? No, Yamato, don't ram. Don't ram, don't ram, don't ram, don't ram, don't ram. We don't need it. We don't need it. I went too early. Okay. Now just a Petro. Now just the Petro. He does have improved pen angles. What is your plan, sir? He's got the AP. We'll need some help from our team. He's quite broadside right now, actually. I am going to angle in here. Des Moines spotted in the north. Okay, I was worried he might be pushing through here and we could get caught in a crossfire. Notably, we haven't seen Yamagiri in 11 minutes. Oh boy. Just angle here. Our Balao's got some nice hits. Petro is not swapping to the HE, so he's just going to get a few superstructure hits. That's not too bad. We can tank for our team. He's quite broadside, so he should be finished off here. Why do I talk? Why do I even open my mouth? I have a good game on my hands here. Slowly, but we do have a good game on our hands. I would say I'm a little disappointed in the gun still. Oh, Yamagiri up top. All right, we've seen him. So, little disappointed in the gun still. I think that's a little bit fair to say here in the late game, but we still have managed 167. We've tanked for our team. Maybe that's not the best way of having a ship, right? Where your battle impact is you're soaking hits for your team rather than actually dealing consistent damage, but that is what Ohio does. That is what Ohio does. It, in theory, should also do pretty consistent damage. I think on paper it does. For most people, I think it does. For me, I don't know. This ship and I maybe just don't get along. Perhaps because I personally love Montana. That's the one I love. So maybe that's why for me that this one just doesn't behave as well. Inchin spotted. Oh, you're going to give me that dispersion now? Now you're going to give me the dispersion. Okay. I mean, there you go. There you go. As if to say yes. As if Ohio is actually talking to us. Yes, we don't actually get along. Let me show you how good my dispersion is when it doesn't even matter. A great game still. We played passive at the start. We played patient at the start. We tanked for our team. And in the late game, we chose our moment to push in and help out. Maybe a little late. We could have gone maybe a little sooner, but we had to wait until the sub was dealt with before we could really get active on our flank. And I think we did a good job of that. Oh, here we go. Kleber on this flank. That's an interesting aggressive push. He's grounded briefly. Just send it right at him. Now, you guys may have noticed I haven't exactly said which one I would get first, have I? That's because they're all very, very, very good battleships, okay? You can't really go wrong. You should pick the one that interests you the most. I probably would still go Ohio first, to be honest with you, because, as you guys know, I love pushing in. And when I get the opportunity to, Ohio is going to do a better job. Getting up close to the caps early can sometimes result in a destroyer kill right off the bat. Very, very useful. If not, you're closer to help on the DD engagement. And if not that, you're taking some heat maybe off of the cruisers on your flank. Now, we are in a bit of a situation where there's a sub here. That's not so good for us. We have a pretty long damage control, I would say. So in this case, we're going to use it and then hopefully avoid most of these torpedoes and get ourselves into a kited position. Hindenburg notably has 30 millimeters of armor, and at these ranges, it's pretty hard to dodge. So yeah, that's that overmatch power. We're broadside on to this Republic here right now. Notice how long our damage control party is lasting here. That is purely off of having the upgraded module. We'll take a couple hits here still, but not the bulk of them. We'll get that going as well. We'll get our heal going. We're taking hits. We're taking some hits. Our team is going to be backing us up yet. We've got ourselves angled. We get another massive, massive smash into the... Oh, I thought you were going the other way. Well, eventually he is. Actually, he might be fast enough to actually get there. So we've done a lot off the bat. We've tanked quite a bit for our team. This is great. This is exactly what you want to see out of your Ohio at the early game. If you can. Like, you're not always going to get the opportunities, as we saw. Nice dodge, Mr. Hindenburg. You're not always going to get those opportunities, right? But, like last game, for example. But... I love it. I love it. Okay, we're half health. I don't even care. This was really fun so far. Still going to be after the Hindenburg because he's low. And we do, in fact, overmatch him. Oh, man. And our Shima getting us the spot. It's a very aggressive Shima play. I hope he doesn't die for it. I'm not quite leading enough. You notice that? Not quite leading enough at these longer ranges. So that's a sign that, yes, we are playing Sete de Setembro and getting used to that shell velocity. I think he's going to angle. Maybe not. We'll still send it like that. So now that the sub is dead, notice how I'm turning in already? We have another heal available to us. It's not a perfectly optimal heal, but I don't care. I'm still going to use it because we have so many remaining. Splashed all around him. Nice dodge. Nice dodge. Nice dodge. I do appreciate our Shima going and taking out that sub. I don't want my destroyer players generally to go suicide to take out the sub, to lose their ship to take out the sub, especially once I was in such a relatively safe position, kited away like that. But it did help us to get the submarine kill. What do you mean? I hit him. I saw where that hit. That hit here. His citadel ends there. That was weird. Maybe some lag. Maybe some desync issues, or visually the explosion happens later. That makes more sense. Yeah, that makes more sense. Now, I see the Worcester's kind of able to farm us here. The Republic is in a nice kited position, so I'm going to just work my way up to this island here. I'm actually holding my shot, perhaps to go after Republic, but mostly I'm hoping that we get a possible spot on this Worcester here. That would be fun. So I'm just kind of holding for that. Maybe I shouldn't. We could maybe even cheek the Republic here. We would have to hit right here. And I'm going to hit here because I'm not leading enough. It's 30k though. Wow. That was a very good hit. We'll take it. We're still plane spotted. I am going to greed rep that actually because Worcester is far enough behind the island. I don't think he has an angle for us. It's a secondary repub. Interesting. Normally, against a Republic, I expect a lot of shatters, to be honest with you. I expect a lot of shatters in these situations where they're flat broadside on. But we're not getting them. We're just straight up getting the hits. Okay. He is pushing in. I maybe pushed a little too close to this island to the point where I won't be able to fire over it. Maybe my secondaries can shoot. Looks like the answer is no. So I've done a poor job here now where I've over pushed to this island. Hopefully our Des Moines doesn't die because of that. Not being a great teammate, but let's keep going. Let's keep pushing up here. This is a close battle still. We've done a lot, but there is more to be done. Wait, I think this Colbert might push out. Inadvertently. No, he won't. Now I am probably too broadside on for the Republic. I guess we shall see. Try and take out the Worcester. A little higher priority target. No, we aren't too broadside. Very nice. And we get a very, very good hit into the Worcester here. We got the fire already on the Repub. 30 seconds, notice, 30 seconds until our heal comes back. Damage control is already back. We're going to use it right away. It lasts a long time, of course. Nice. Team gets Colbert. I see those torps coming in. We will angle to them, but I wanted to get all of my guns off on the Worcester. A little more dangerous target right now. We get our heal back. Notice how I'm getting my consumables back pretty quickly. Yeah, that's this AA and ASW expert. 2-point skill on battleships is very, very powerful, especially on a ship that gets its consumables back so quickly. It's heal. We do take the flood. There we go. We get the Republic. Very, very good flank, Ohio. Very well done. I am very happy with Ohio right now. Oh man, all those games I played today were worth it. We finally got the one. We got the one. We're gonna eat some chip damage here from the Immelman. I only have one heal left. I don't really want to keep pushing, to be honest with you. This is a situation where we're probably gonna die to the carrier because it's carriers, right? There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, he gets multiple drops. Ohio AA is nowhere near good enough to prevent multiple drops, so yeah, we're gonna go down here. We'll get a couple heal ticks, but I don't think it's enough for like 4 torpedoes. Might be enough for 3. Oh, it's enough for 3. Barely alive. We have done as much as we can. Looks like, yeah, Immelman is back here, so pretty difficult to deal with that. There's a chance that we can get angled here. I'm just going to spam my rep. Okay. But yeah, you see this? Immelman actually has some pretty squishy planes, I would say. It doesn't actually have very high HP on its aircraft, but it doesn't matter. We're not shooting down near enough to actually deal with them, unfortunately. But I hope our team is... we've done enough to help our team win this one. There we go. Unfortunately, our damage control is out. And... oh, we don't get the fire! Wait. Are we allowed to live for a little bit longer? Crazy. Nice. Our Moskva and Des Moines have finally pushed up as well. This will hopefully allow us to not get multiple drops in a row after us. You have to clump up as a team is the key. That's the key to avoiding a lot of carrier damage. Overpens is what it is. Okay. No flood. Okay, no flood. Very good. I am alive still. And with the Moskva and Des Moines pushing, maybe he'll go after them. Probably not, because I'm so low, but... oh, wait. There he is. He's been found. Got to lead quite a bit. Yeah, maybe he's actually going after Moskva now. Maybe he'll leave us. Wow, I thought I overled that, guys. I'll be completely honest with you. I thought I completely overled that, and it turned out to be right. That's... I'm going to call that the Setembro effect. You play a Setembro, you're cooked. Your aim is just simply cooked on everything else. Any muscle memory you have doesn't work when you get Setembro, and once you finally kind of start getting used to it, you go to anything else. It's over. It's just kind of over. Oh, actually, the game is over. I was not paying attention to the score timer here. So we do not get, we don't get another shot there, but that's okay. Very good game, Ohio. Very, very nice game. I played upwards of like 10 games earlier, trying to record for the first part of the video. I had the first game on my hard drive from earlier, but I was wanting a little bit more gameplay, and I did not get it. Apparently, we're doing live commentary and just getting great games, especially this one. Wow. Great example. Great example of when things go mostly right for an Ohio. Great armor on this ship. 38 does get penned a little bit more these days, I would say, but it's still quite solid. And most importantly, the ship gets its heals back so quickly. This is what allows it to brawl a lot easier. 36-second cooldown with the build allows us to brawl a lot easier. I am taking secondary battery mod because there's no aiming systems here. It's in the 6th slot, which please take it. 11% dispersion is just simply too good to ignore. Concealment, not so good with this one, as that's what I'm giving up to build for secondaries here. And build looked a little something like this. I did swap around. I tried without long-range secondaries, and then I did Concealment Expert and I believe an Improved Repair Party Readiness instead of Emergency Repair Expert to get me the 5th heal. You can sometimes do that to cheat out one more 4-point skill. So then you had like 9.5, 9.6 kilometer secondary range and still had manual secondaries. So, Ohio, Setembro, Slava, it's a tough choice. It's a tough choice. Really, Slava is still the king of long-range sniper gameplay. So if you're interested in that, and you see Setembro looking pretty good in that scenario, it's not got the consistent accuracy. It can. Certainly it can. Look at the very start of my Setembro video. It's got some monster games. But that's not as consistent as Slava's accuracy. If you want the insane F-keys, situational plays, where the ship just goes absolutely wild on the enemy team if you get the perfect scenario for it, Setembro is the pick. And then Ohio, of course, still just way better than the other two for any sort of closer range pushing action, as we saw today. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. There is no right or wrong answer between these three. They are all absolutely incredible tier 10s. I'm so happy Wargaming has finally added another really good ship to the game that is not for once for gambling or loot boxes or Admiral bundles, anything like that. Very, very happy to see Setembro added. Thank you very much for watching and have a great rest of your day.